Hey everybody, Karis here. Thank you guys for joining in. Again, we are on day 19 of our Struggle is Real series, talking about depression and overcoming depression and moving from surviving in it to overcoming it to then thriving in our life the way that God intended for us to do. So, thank you guys so much for joining me again. I know some of you have been with me on this process from day one. Some of you, you've just found this, and some of you are going back to watch the other videos. Wherever you are, whoever you are, thank you for joining in and being a part of this. And my prayer for you is that once we reach the 30 days, that you will have some tools, some tips, and some things from God that He wants you to do to continue your way out of the pit. Your journey is going to look different than mine, but the important thing is that you are on the journey. And I can tell you that even though the struggle is real that you are facing, the hope is real that God has for you. So I just want you to know that as we continue on in this day. Very quickly, for those of you who do not know, you can follow me on 3 different platforms. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find me all at Karis Snyder. And also, if you like to read blogs, I have a blog as well, karissnyder.com. I try to keep it all very easy for you, very simple, all the same names, so you can find me easily. So here we are. We're on day 19 on our Struggle is Real series. And I was reminded today, just even a year ago, just thinking about all that God has brought me through and some different things that I struggle with. And I know sometimes when you are in depression, or maybe you're dealing with some other things like anxiety or fear, or just other different things that you might be struggling with, one thing that is very easily happens for us is we try to mask our struggle. We may not want to deal with it. We may not know how to deal with it. We may not want others to know that we have it, so we mask our struggle. I know I did this with my depression, and a lot of times I did this with being busy, constantly doing something, constantly being active, constantly having something for my mind to think about and for me to do, because I was scared and I was worried that if I was still, if I was quiet, if I did not have anything to do, that my mind would go into these places that I did not want it to go. And frankly, they were hard places. They were scary places. So Psalms 46:10 tells us, though, to be still and know that He is God. Be still and know that I am God. So even in those small pauses that I take when I just sit quietly and I'm still, does it make you feel uncomfortable? It makes me feel uncomfortable staring here at the screen, but being still is not what our society tells us, is it? It's constantly go, 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 do, 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 everything that you possibly can, right? Be here with your kids, be here with your community groups, be here with your church, be here with your job. Make sure you're doing all this in your home. And if you're not doing all this, what's a buzzword that you might hear? You're failing. You're not doing enough. You're not good enough. You're never going to be enough. So then we add more onto our plate. Well, maybe I should do more. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should say yes to more. But that's not what God's word tells us, is it? He tells us to be still and know that He is God. And so one thing that He's been teaching me for a long time is that He wants us to be still. He wants us to stop and to remember that He is in control. He is in control. We do not need to be actively doing things constantly to try to take control. That is a lot of what happens with depression and anxiety, and even any other struggle in your life. You try to take control and you try to fix it yourself, and you try to mask it, and you try to push it down because it's hard to deal with, or we're scared to deal with, or we're scared for others to see it. But God already sees it, guys. He already knows. He knows what we're doing. And that's why He wants us to be still, because this great big God who holds this great big universe in His hands holds you in His hands too. Every tiny detail of your life, He has it right there in the palm of His hands. We've talked about that, how we are engraved in His hands. And if He cares about this universe. He cares even more about you in every detail of your life. So, what He is wanting us to do is to be still and to acknowledge that He is in control. He has a great plan, and we can trust in the plan, we can trust in the process. So today, that's just what I want to challenge you to do. I know what it's like to be still when your mind is going places you don't want it to go. But we just talked about this yesterday, and these are two things that you can add in together where we talked about the power of a thankful heart. So today, my challenge for you is to be still. Recognize the love that God has for you, that He is in control of your life. He is in control. We don't have to sit in the God seat. God has His seat under control. We don't have to tell Him what to do. We don't have to fix it for Him. He already knows. So instead trying to sit in His seat, sit at His feet and be still and lay it at His feet and thank Him that He has it taken care of and that you can trust Him, and just be quiet and just rest your mind in that thankful way, the things that you're thankful for. And just take that minute to let Him renew us. He can't renew us and restore us if we're not giving that time that He needs to do that. So rest today. I'm not just talking about take a nap, although naps, there's nothing wrong with naps. But rest in His Spirit. Sit for a minute if it's in car line or whenever you're watching this, if it's before you go into the grocery store, before you go into church, before you go to bed tonight, and just sit at His feet instead of in His seat, and just close your eyes and just think about the goodness of God. Think about the things that you're thankful for, and just ask Him to renew your spirit, to renew you, and then be quiet and let Him love you, and let Him talk to you. So be still today at His feet. I am praying for you guys. I'm so proud of y'all. I know that may sound silly, but I am. I know how hard it is to stick with something like this and to go through it, but you're getting tools, you're getting wisdom, and you're getting ways to climb up out of that pit. And you may not be completely out of it by the end of this 30 days, but you are going to be farther than what you were if you will continue to just be still and sit at His feet, be thankful, and let God do in you what only He can do. So thank you guys again for joining in, and I will talk to y'all soon.